So my husband Blake has tested negatively for the coronavirus. This, of course, was a big thing that we were going through this week. He had a couple of coworkers who did test positive last week. And then he came home, and of course they shut down his store. Hi, Emily, how you doing? And we just, all of us got nervous, obviously. We were all nervous that A, he was gonna be sick, B, he would be able to sadly spread it to other people. So it has been a huge relief for him to get the negative results. So I wanted to first come in and let you know that in case it is something that you had seen that we were sharing. And one more thing that I want to do this too. Bada bing, bada boom. Awesome. So come on in, say a little hello, keep me company. I am going to take a few moments to just feel a little better. Hey Ginger, how you doing, friend? I haven't been putting on my makeup. I have not been, doing all the things that I normally have been doing to keep myself afloat during all these times while we were concerned about Blake being positive for COVID. We did have to separate him and have him in a different area of the house. And then all my spare time was spent sanitizing my entire house because of course he'd been touching it all the while. So I did already put on face primer in case you're wondering. But come on in, say a little hello. I am going to keep my eyes on comments. We've got Sarah and Justina. Brittany's here. Yay! So comments aren't working on that screen, so I am going to be checking it on another device just so you guys know. But please feel free to come in, say hi. So we were really, really nervous about what was going to happen to him, just health-wise, and also, possibly spreading it onto the family. But turns out he's tested negatively. Now, that all being said, sadly, there's this rare possibility that he could still be positive. Sometimes you can test a little too early. Sometimes you just need to be a little safe. So because he was exposed, we are still treating him like he's quarantined from the rest of the world, but not necessarily our family. But all of us, we're not going grocery shopping. We're not, let's be real. None of us are hardcore really doing anything much anyway. And now I look crazy. I know, if you've never seen me put makeup on before, I apologize. But this is how I'm just taking a few moments for myself. My kids, of course, are out in the backyard. It's a gorgeous day. And I have been momming hardcore, nonstop, while I've been Googling things. So when he did get tested, when Blake was tested, he did have a fever. So that was an added concern. He didn't have any other symptoms. He didn't have a cough. He didn't have, any of those symptoms, but he did have a fever. So he didn't feel odd, but obviously his body was fighting a little something. All right, Sarah, so happy. Hey, Peter. Hey, Lindley. Hey, Candy. How you guys doing? So huge relief in our household. We've all been holding our breath, and then we had to explain it to our 4-year-old and 7-year-old why Daddy was staying in the basement. Thank goodness Sesame Street teamed up with CNN. I don't know if any of you saw that. They teamed up with CNN on Saturday morning, and they had the ABCs of COVID-19, and they had all these Sesame Street characters kind of break down what was going on, and also break down a lot of the emotions that kids may be feeling, why can't I see my friends, or why are people wearing masks? So it was a fantastic program. If you haven't seen it and you have young kids in your life, maybe you have children yourself, or you're an aunt or uncle or grandparent, it was a great show to watch. And it was honestly perfect timing because Daddy was quarantined in the basement while we were learning about the virus in a child-friendly manner. So it was really perfect timing for our family, at least. Yay, thanks, Angela. Yes, very glad to hear that Blake's okay. I'm so thrilled. And it's funny because, it's not funny, he was feeling fine. So he was telling me, he said, I feel so bad. Here I am hiding. I'm just kind of contouring my face a little bit, warming it up. He's like, here I am, quarantining in the basement. And he felt fine. And he just felt bad that I had to, do all these precautions and everything. But it's what you got to do right now, right? We all got to be careful, and we all got to take care of our families. And it's something that many of us are going to be dealing with, whether we get positive or negative responses. So we are going to need to, just know what to do and try our best not to lose her cool in the process. So yeah, everything's A-okay. But what we are doing is we are having him, and as I said, our whole family is going to be, on the low. We're not going out shopping, we're not as I said, you wouldn't really be normally doing that anyway, but even grocery shopping, like I have not been doing a lot of Instacart. I've been trying to save that service for people who do need to be quarantined or for people who are just immunocompromised. But this week we are doing Instacart. I usually go to the supermarket on Sunday and it's like my big day out. We're not doing that just because he was exposed. And then the doctor also told us that if we wanted to be sure, he could potentially get tested again a week from his other test. Hey, Erica. Hi, Mary. Hey, Morvin. How you guys doing? Hey, Cece. So he could get tested again next week, especially if he gets any symptoms, just in case he tested it too early. I mean, the easiest way for me to explain it, especially for ladies, it's almost like he could potentially, because he was so exposed and he got tested so early, it's almost like in pregnancy. This happened to me, actually. I took a pregnancy test like days too early, a couple of days too early. So I actually thought that I was negative pregnant with my son. But really, I was technically pregnant. It was just too early to tell. It wasn't enough in the system. So what we're going to do is keep taking his temperature. Ooh, the sun just came out. Sorry about that. We're going to keep taking his temperature, keeping safe, and if any symptoms do come up, he will go and get retested because there is that slight chance that he could have a false negative and that it just would have been too early in his system. So that's why we're really, really kind of keeping it cool and not going grocery shopping, and he's not returning to work for at least a week. And she said if we wanted to get him tested next week, whether or not he's showing symptoms, that would kind of suffice to let us know, yes, he is negative. So that's really good. Yes, so it's not like a common thing they're talking about, Angela, about the incubation period, creating false negatives, but it is known out there that there are false negatives. And this is not to like cause concern or make panic. I mean, truth of the matter is that people should be staying home, right? Like none of us should be going hung wild doing anything we're not supposed to be doing. I'm gonna actually, for my blush today, I'm actually just gonna use my lipstick. This is my favorite color of lipstick. It's called Affluent. It's like the perfect nude for your lips. And any kind of cream-based lipstick, like your regular stick lipstick, or chapstick can also be doubled up for a little bit of blush. So one of my favorite things about it is that it always matches. It matches your lips if that's what you're gonna wear. So yeah, so we're going to just kind of keep monitoring him. As I said, he seems to be in great health, great spirits. And that's, one of the tough things is that, especially people who are more on the younger side, sometimes they just don't show any symptoms at all. So we are going to hang low, erring on the side that we most likely will get a second test. And I know that there's probably people in other states than Rhode Island right now saying, what do you mean a second test? How did he even get a test? Rhode Island is testing at an incredible rate. If you Google it, Rhode Island, I think as of this weekend, was like the top in the testing in the country. Reason number one, I think we're the tiniest state. You know what I mean? It's easy for us to be like, yes, we can test it. Anyone who wants a test, because we are super, super tiny. I am going to set my makeup with some setting powder. So really, Blake called at 9 a.m. on Saturday and was able to get tested at 10 a.m. Sunday without major symptoms. Like he didn't even know he had a fever. And he doesn't work in the healthcare industry. So that just gives you an idea of how easy it is to get a test here in Rhode Island. I will say that a huge portion of that is because CVS headquarters is in Rhode Island. So because CVS is headquartered here, they've put a lot of effort into making sure we have a lot of testing sites, and they are taking Rhode Island very seriously because we're pretty much in between New York and Massachusetts, which New York, Jersey, and Massachusetts are the three hardest hit states with the virus, sadly. So Rhode Island has really amped it up with the help of CVS. So yeah, so he went and got tested. And then if we want to, is he home? Yes, he's home, Bethany. So he's not going anywhere. He hasn't gone anywhere since he came home on Friday and learned that there was a person at his store that was exposed. And since then, as I said, another coworker has someone at his work tested positively. And since then, another person has tested positively. And everyone else at his work lives in Massachusetts. And even Massachusetts, their testing is very different. So pretty much a bunch of his staff have actually been told by their doctors not to get tested, even though they were exposed, because of course they're not showing symptoms, which is what the majority of the country, I think, sadly, is having to deal with. If you're not showing major symptoms, even though you were exposed, they might not be letting you get tested. So that's what's happening to a lot of his coworkers right now, is they're just being told you need to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. Oh, thank you so much, Angela. Thank you. And Janine says, I'm glad the testing sped up. My friend got tested and waited 2 weeks. What? That's crazy. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Hillary. Yeah, so he was able to go, and we got it within just a couple of days. So he didn't get the fast results. We do have the testing facilities in Rhode Island to create rapid results where you learn your results. Ooh, the sun's coming back out within 30 minutes. So my mom, who is in that older demographic, is also a cancer survivor. So she's also in that immunocompromised category. She was able to get rapid testing and hear her results within 30 minutes. And that testing facility really is kind of leaning towards you either need to be showing I think at least 2 of the symptoms, and you need to have, or you need to be in one of those categories that really needs to know the results quickly. Whereas people in our position, we're already being quarantined. We're already staying home. So that's the scoop, but we are so thankful because, it's weird. I mean, and probably this is happening to everybody. Like every tickle in your throat, every time that you might cough, it might be allergies, it might be that you drank your coffee the wrong way, or you wake up, and even Blake, so he did have a fever, but he didn't realize that he had a fever. But of course, during those 3 days that, we hadn't heard about the results yet, he was constantly afraid. And last night, for example, he had a pretty bad headache, and he was saying, oh, do I have a fever? Is it just showing up now? So, kind of sticks with you emotionally in the sense that we're all pins and needles. And I even asked our doctor, I said, okay, so we got this negative test, and yet we know that there's the potential, because he was exposed just late last week, that maybe it hasn't really gotten into his body enough to show positively. Does he have to stay in the basement? Does he have to stay away from us and our kids this entire time? We don't have this giant house. And she said no. She's like, most likely he's going to be okay. Most likely his test is a true negative, and everything's going to be fine. Because no one in our house is in that older demographic or is immunocompromised. Like, we don't have a grandparent living with us. We don't have someone who we have to really worry about in regards to major health concerns. We've already kind of been exposed to him. It's okay, especially because he tested negatively. If, of course, he starts to show any symptoms that could just become it being later, it actually starting to show itself. If it is there, then he goes back down to the basement. So we are all very, very happy. But yeah, my kids had headaches 2 days ago, and my children never have headaches, so that was really weird. And then last night, Blake had a very bad headache, so we had to postpone our podcast. And it's kind of with you, as I assume it's probably with all of us. We're all kind of second guessing, like, is this real? Is this normal? Towards the end of April, do I really cough this much? The answer for me is yes. I have tremendous allergies, and I'm so thankful. I don't know how many other allergy sufferers there are out there. I know that Sarah said that she's been struggling with allergies, and it really messes with your mind, right? I always forget to jumpstart on my allergy medication early. You're supposed to take it like 2 weeks before the allergy season really hits, so that way it's in your body. And this is the first year I remembered. I am 37, going on 38 years old in just a week. Oh my gosh, is it just a week today? It is just a week until today, because my birthday's on a Taco Tuesday. Fun fact, Cinco de Mayo is on a Taco Tuesday this year, I think. Let me double check with my fun little Apple Watch. Please, will you show me May? No, you're not going to show me May? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be on Tuesday. So a week from today, I'll be 38 years old. And I finally remembered to take my allergy medicine early. And I honestly think it was because of all of the scare of COVID coming up. So I just thought, I don't want to have to deal with my allergies. My kids both have the same allergies, so we're all sniffling and coughing, and worst time ever to have allergies, right? Oh, Janine never stops taking your allergy meds. No way. Oh my gosh, who does that, right? Says Emily. So Emily, what I did is, this is going to sound so crazy, but maybe it'll help you guys. So I have spring and fall allergies. And what I did last year is I told myself, like, when I start really sneezing, I know I'm starting to look a little crazy because I'm adding makeup. This is the area where it starts to look crazy. And then I calm it down. I realized what was flowering And then I was able to tell myself, so the yellow flowers, so daffodils, there are those yellow bushes that have the little, they almost look like honeysuckle flowers, but they're not honeysuckle flowers, but those beautiful yellow bushes, whenever all the yellow flowers start to flower is when my allergies get up. Now, I don't think that that's what I'm allergic to. It's probably actually the trees or something that I'm actually allergic to, but it was a great visual cue last year when I was sneezing and I was coughing and I couldn't sleep and the postnasal drip was insane. I was like, oh, the yellow flowers just came out. So as long as I remember to start taking my medication before the yellow flowers bloom, I'm gonna be okay. So hopefully you can do that. I know that there's a way that you could probably write it down in your calendar and remember which month, which week of April or whatever. But to me, I just decided if I could figure out around the time of whatever it was that was blooming, and if I could try to err on the side of being early, and it has helped. Our allergies have really, really cut down. Cinco de Mary, says Janine, exactly. So Brittany's allergies get really bad. Janine said headaches can be allergies, screen time, and stress. That's it. That's the other thing too, is we don't know like how much stress our kids were under knowing that Blake was in the basement. I am going to be getting my kids some of that blue light blocking screen glasses, so I am going to be investing in those. They're just made for kids because they are on the screen so much more right now, and I didn't know if that might be their headaches too. Yes, says Emma, so difficult as the recommendations to keep on testing. And that is one thing that I've struggled with this past weekend. So since getting his results and since being able to err on the side of, okay, he's negative. Because I think I was much more prepared if he was positive, which sounds so weird. But I listened actually to this piece that was in the New York Times, but the woman, they had it narrated in a podcast episode. It's about a woman who took care of her husband. They were both in their 40s, took care of her husband while he was positive. And so by listening to that podcast episode, as scary as it sounds to listen to a person living through that and being pretty much a nurse at home and trying to keep everything sanitized for yourself and taking care of the kids, it prepped me. It prepped me into being okay, like if Blake comes home, because Blake does, he works with the public every single day. He's in close contact with people. I figured, all right, if he does come home and he's positive, and if he actually gets sick from it, and I need to be like a nurse for him, these are the steps I need to do. And now, he's tested negatively, which is great, but you sit back and you say, okay, so does that mean he goes back to work? Now, mind you, his store for the time being is closed down. Hey, Mona, how you doing? Hey, Stephanie. So yeah, his store right now is closed because 2 co-workers so far have already tested positive. They are having like the sanitation crew come in as we speak, and they're sanitizing everything in the store, which is great. But I don't know if that means that everyone's going to try to go back next week or even the week after that. Massachusetts has delayed their opening as a state now until May 18th, but Dunkin' Donuts is like an essential business. His Dunkin' is very close to a hospital, so they have stayed open until now when so many people have gotten sick. So it's this weird thing. But yeah, so as I was saying, so I was more prepared mentally with like the checklist of what to do if he was positive. And then of course we got the negative results and I was like, awesome sauce, great. Like check that off. Life can go back as normal. He came upstairs, he hugged and kissed us all. And I was like, this is great. And then I started to think like, oh, are there false negatives for this? I mean, there's false negatives probably for anything. But so I Googled it and I did see some pretty reputable things, and that's when I called my doctor, right? Like that's like the real thing we're supposed to do, not just to Google things, but to talk to our doctors, because that is one thing that I don't feel like I've heard anything about. If you do test negative, are you free to go back to work? Are you free to go food shopping again? Are you free to come and see your family? So yeah, so my doctor said, and mind you, they are changing opinions on everything every day. So if anything happens to you, please consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm a musician, a mom, and a podcaster who loves to read nerdy books. But she said, as I said, we need to keep him home and keep our whole family home because he was exposed. So continue to go along the protocol of exposure, and then to be doubly sure, he can go back next week and have another test. And if that one is negative, then we can assume that he is negative and we will be all set. So the blue light glasses work. Forgot mine at museum, which is in lockdown, says Emily. No! And can you get some new ones, or are they really expensive? As I said, I'm looking into the kid ones. My contact lenses yeah, my new contact lenses have like the blue light blocker in them. Isn't that insane? Like, I asked my doctor about it because this whole blue light thing had come up like right before all of the COVID stuff started even happening, and we were on our screens even more. Just because I work from my screens a lot, I just brought it up to him and I said, I'm seeing all these people who are wearing protective blue light blocker glasses. Is that something I should be doing? And he said, Mary, believe it or not, we got these space age contacts and they're blocking it. Pew, pew, pew. My contacts also are like help my eyes when I'm outside. They got like sunglasses in them or something. It still is bright and I still wear sunglasses, but it's blocking these UV rays, which is pretty cool. Candy says, I'm allergic to dogs and dust too, and of course I have a dog, so I take it year round. The pollen is high. Oh, really? And Janice says, her allergies are horrible. Exactly. Emma says, trying to decide if I want to watch the new documentary on COVID on Netflix. Information is power, right? So it's up to you, Emma, right? When this all kind of first happened, I was like, give me all the information. I watched everything known to man. And then my anxiety spiked through the roof. So now what I'm doing is I'm reading. I'm reading a lot because then I can kind of like, I don't have to hear anyone's urgency in their voice. I'm just reading trusted sources. I saw that documentary on Netflix too yesterday, but I needed to calm down. My anxiety has been really rough. I'll be real with you guys. I know I try to bring like light and joy all the time on social media, but I think I also need to be real and let you know, like, it has been rough. And I know that's been rough for everybody in their own way. And I'm blessed that I still have my house. We still have our income for the time being. Blake's not out of work though. We're going to see what happens. I feel very blessed, but still it's a lot of emotional pressure on all of us. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm still trying to keep up with my business. It's just been a lot. So last night when I saw that documentary pop up, I was like, do I want to watch this? And instead I went to Amazon Prime and I started watching Poldark. So I went complete opposite. I was like, give me some period drama, PBS, give me all the like scenery and accents and gorgeous costumes. So that's where I went. Hi Tracy, how are you? I could get new ones, says Emily, but I'm cheap. It's crazy how much we rely upon our screen, says Janine. I know. Oh, thank you, Christina. Yeah, so he's tested negatively, but we are erring on the side of the fact that he was still exposed to multiple people, and that possibly the test could be a false negative. So we as a family are all hanging out. That was the one thing I told my doctor. I was like, we've already all hugged and kissed him because he got the negative. Is that bad? And she's like, no, like, you guys live in a small house. You have young kids. They would go bananas if they didn't see their dad for these. Sorry, I got a phone call now. If, of course, he does exhibit any symptoms, boom, daddy goes back to the basement and we go back to how things were. And I'm not gonna lie, we had a pretty sweet setup. We have a microwave, a sink, our chest freezers in the basement. Blake has all his video games, so he was living the 17-year-old's dream. All he needed was bagel bites. Like, what else do 17-year-olds like? Like little microwave pizzas, like Elio's. I don't know what they eat nowadays. That's what I ate when I was in high school. I would just like pop, 9 bagel bites in the microwave and just eat to my heart's content. Hey, how's everything going, Kathleen and Veronica? Let's see, we're watching trash TV to make ourselves feel more sane. Love is Blind, listen to your heart. So here's my favorite thing about Love is Blind. I watched that before they shut things down. So I think I've told you guys, I've been a little bit more mentally prepared for everything that's happening now because I have a dear friend in Italy and I've been like keeping an eye on her post, and I was just kind of like watching the news a bit more than I usually do about this. So my anxiety was already starting to climb up as I saw it coming. I'm like, this is coming and I don't feel prepared. So I watched Love is Blind as well to help get my mind off of it. And my favorite thing is I finished Love is Blind, and all I keep thinking about is those couples who got married, how they're quarantined together. They don't really know each other that well. They're probably driving each other bonkers. So at least hopefully all of us, whoever we live with, we've lived with for a while. We know their quirks. Granted, some of the quirks may drive us crazy, or maybe we're falling more even in love with their quirks. But those Love is Blind people, they don't know what they signed up for with Nick Lachey. They just thought they were going on TV. They'd have a fun little wedding. Little did they know that would happen before quarantine. Oh my goodness, they must be writing to Nick Lachey. What did you convince me to do? Hey Laura, how's it going? Sounds like a nightmare, says Christina, right? So, so true, right? I did see, I think it was Big Brother in Germany. They showed like, there were people, in this Big Brother house. So I don't frequently watch Big Brother. I actually never watch Big Brother. But basically the concept is that all these people live in this house together, and I guess they get voted off or something. I don't know. I feel like it's like In a House but Survivor. So once again, I don't watch it. So I'm sorry if I just butchered a plot line of one of your favorite shows. So those people who in Big Brother in Germany have been quarantined, like have been in this house this entire time. And the producers like finally told them, and they recorded it, and they were like, so while you've been here in this home, you haven't been exposed to this. So the producers had to speak to them from behind glass, and they were like, we'll let you FaceTime your families, but while you've been here on a reality TV show, a worldwide pandemic has shut everything down. And they were all like, what? So it was really crazy. But it's because all of us have been able to pretty much watch it in real time, but that was another thing that I was thinking about, was like all these reality show people who were either removed from society or they're now stuck with people who they don't even like for this quarantine. So that's one thing I'm thankful of, is that I'm not on a reality TV show stuck with strangers during this period, because Lord knows how long it's going to be. Hey Rebecca, Veronica says, I'm so glad things are better. Sorry to leave the video, but gotta get some work done. Have been using and overusing 4D mascara. Yay! That's right, it is all about the eyes right now. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna put on some makeup. I don't have anywhere to go. I just told you guys, we are steering clear even from the grocery store because of Blake's exposure. But I have not put on makeup in a while. And I decided that I'm gonna start doing it again. That now that we're in the clear for the most part, that I can take a deep breath. It also allows the fact that Blake gets to help watch the kids. The kids are right now in the backyard, and Blake is in the basement exercising, and he is on dad duty. That was the other hard thing, is that even while he's working, I'm stay-at-home, work-from-home mom, but now I have the kids all the time, so we're also homeschool mom. And when he was quarantined from us, it was 24/7 mom. And I don't know how many other parents are watching right now, but my kids have been having like clingy issues. Like they just want to be stuck to me. And I don't know if it's just because they're not getting into any interactions with their friends and their classmates, like in real life. You think about it, like kids play on the playgrounds all the time. They play with dolls and they get all this constant interaction from other people, and right now they don't. They're just getting it from me. So, and they were also probably very concerned about Blake. So they were stuck to me like glue, which I do not mind at all. I appreciate it. It actually made me feel a lot better. It's like how some people like hug their dogs when they're sad. I just hug my kids. I don't have a dog. I'll hug my cat, but she just likes to be pet. She reminds me of those people in the relationship who just want to get a massage from you and not give a massage, and you're like, this is not a two-way street. That's my cat. She's just like, I'm here, pet me. Okay, kitty. Whereas my kids, it's a two-way street. So, but he's watching them right now. So now I feel so much better. I'm just gonna put on my little lipstick and we will be good to go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to zhuzh up, get a little bit better about how I'm feeling about myself. I have my flowers that I got from the last time I went food shopping. Aren't they holding up so well? These are just from Shaw's. Man, oh man. It was so weird walking into Shaw's. You can now use the app Open Table, which is meant for restaurant reservations, but obviously no one's going to a restaurant. You can use Open Table, at least at my Shaw's, to put your place in line for food shopping, so you don't have to wait in line all the time. Hi Sarah, how's it going? Oh my gosh, Christina, you are too sweet. Christina said, the kids feel the awful stress of COVID too. Their words have changed and it's scary for them. My grandson had been potty trained at 2 and he's back in diapers from the stress. Yes, yes, yes to all that. It's definitely affecting the kids, at least my kids. And they don't have the emotional, just the emotional intelligence to realize what it is or even that it is happening. So, that's why I'm all about the extra snuggles, all about the extra cuddles, and try not to overstress them. So that is the scoop. Guys, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out. I wanted to let you know the great news that's going on in our family. I wanted to just kind of check in and let you know where we've been at, give you our 2 cents on how we're handling this negative test result. You know, we're still not seeing my parents. I wouldn't be doing it anyway. It's just not the right thing to do right now, especially, I always see each day as we go to the grocery store is like day 0. And while Blake was working, it was day 0, like a new day that we could be infected. So now that he is home, it's really, we just got to wait this out and make sure that it's a true negative. But it's nice. It's nice to have him home. It's nice to know that for now we're all healthy and safe and well. And we're just going to keep supporting all of our frontline workers and everyone that we can. We have been able to my parents have been able to FaceTime my sister. I think some of you may know my sister is older than me. She's my older sister, and she is mentally and physically handicapped, and she lives in a group home actually about 5 minutes away from me. It's part of the reason why we live where we do. But of course we can't see her. Her group home is under the same restrictions as nursing homes. So luckily there hasn't been any outbreak there. They're all adult, really high special needs individuals. But she's been well. My parents FaceTime her frequently, so they not only get to hear her voice, their voice, but see them. So that's been a real blessing in our family as well. So many, many things to be grateful for. And if you're anything like me and you kind of get in this like emotional dump where you just want to kind of like sit in bed and cry, because that was me for a few days, not gonna lie. I wanted to, I couldn't because I had to make sure the family could keep functioning. Just know that we're all in this together, and I'll show you the other thing that I did today. So I told myself I'm going to exercise, I'm going to shower. I did those 2 things. I told myself I was going to put on makeup today, and the other thing I did, get ready for this. I haven't done this in over, a month and a half, whenever they stopped school. I'm wearing jeans. I'm wearing jeans, guys. And they still fit. I'm wearing real pants. I don't care if people wear pants. I am not one of those people who sits on a high horse and says, leggings aren't pants. Leggings are my pants 99% of the time. I will 100% say that and shout it out loud. I love them. I hate flies. I hate buttons. I hate constricting pants, especially as a woman. Like, our bodies fluctuate left and right. But for some reason today, I was like, I'm going to be real human today. We got these negative test results. I'm gonna love on my family. We're gonna stay safe, but I'm gonna come back to normal because my husband can come and help out with the kids, but exercise, put on makeup, shower before I put on makeup, and put on real pants. And there was that moment as I put them on where I was like, am I gonna regret this choice? I've been feeling good. I've been feeling really positive, like I'm accomplishing my goals today, and they still fit, so. Hallelujah. So if anything helps you out, let me know. As I said, I'm trying to integrate exercise into my daily routine. It is not happening daily, but hopefully it can continue on now that I'm back in gear. So thank you guys for chilling and chatting. Janine says, yay, pants. Emily says, a gal I work with calls jeans hard pants. They are hard pants. Like, why are jeans like the thing? Why are jeans just like, oh yeah, and throw on a pair of jeans? Like, why would you ever just throw on a pair of jeans? Jeans are the worst. Jeans are the worst. It's probably the jean industry. Just like how the milk industry had a whole big thing to make everybody think they need milk. And then people like me in the 80s who were actually lactose intolerant had stomach aches all the time. Got milk? No, thank you. Got jeans? No. But for some reason I put them on today, so that's what I did. Yes, so we are good, Melvina. Thank you. And love your tulips, right? Love these tulips. Good old Shaws, and they're hanging in there. We do have this gorgeous, and I'll let you guys go, we do have this gorgeous tulip farm. It's called Wicked Tulips. So for those of you who know about Wicked Roadie, my Rhode Island podcast, can remember that, but tulips, they have the most amazing tulip field here in Rhode Island. And sadly, of course, you can't go and peruse, and they're just about to open in the very near future just because the weather's starting to really warm up. But you won't be able to do it the way that they used to. So they're selling like virtual tickets, and they also have this other option where it can be a virtual ticket, plus you can drive up. It's like drive-through tulips. They're gonna hand you tulips, and their tulips are insane. So this, of course, these I got at Shaw's, and there were 2 different bunches. So there was the light lavender and then kind of this dark magenta color. And they're really cool inside. Let's see. Tulips are my favorite flower. So they've got some just, it gets a little white and then dark purple ombre. So they're my favorite flower. I think partially because they always bloom like near my birthday, which is Cinco de Mayo. But the Wicked Tulips ones are like double this size. They're like, some of them almost look like as big as my hand. but they really do, the flower petals go up so large, and they're really healthy because you're getting them like right then and there. So I'll definitely be getting some fresh birthday tulips from Wicked Tulips. Melvina says, yoga pants are the most comfortable pants ever, right? And Janine says, jeans are only good as a windbreaker on walking days. I agree. Jeans are definitely hardy. They're definitely hardy until they get wet. And then they're wet, hard pants. And you say, why did I make this decision? I should have just worn snow pants. So at least that's how I feel on rainy days in jeans. But I agree. They do break the wind pretty well. But I bet there's better hiking pants that do that. Maybe this will be like my thing. When I come out of quarantine, I'm not gonna wear jeans. But I need to find pants that are hardy. Who knows? Lord knows I'm probably not even gonna be shopping for a while once all this is done. I know people keep saying like, the first thing I'm gonna go do is go to the bar and get a drink. And I'm like, that's not gonna be the first thing I do. I don't know, I'm gonna go hug people. I'm gonna hug people that I can hug, who are safe to hug, when we can hug. I have to make a song about hugs, how much I miss hugs. I get all the hugs from my kids, but there's a lot of people I miss hugging right now. So, right, enough about my hugs. Candy says, love the color of the tulips, it's awesome. Melvina says, and they keep growing after you put them in water, and they keep living longer. I didn't know that. Janine says you should do a tulip-inspired eyeshadow. That is a brilliant idea. I think the colors that I used today are actually quite close to that. So I used these two colors right here, which actually are quite in line. I didn't even mean to do that. These are actually the colors that are in the April Beauty box. It's the $450 worth of product for just $99, and these are the pressed shadows inside of them. Super, super pretty. Let me show you quickly before I go. So if any of you want to know more info about it, it's like the biggest savings on my site. And this month only, I'm throwing in an extra $25 coupon. After April, it goes away. I just want people to treat themselves. I actually get no commission when people purchase the April Beauty box. It is the biggest savings. My commission even goes into the savings to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck. And I feel like we all need to treat ourselves, because I know for me, doing this just made me feel a million times better. Million times better. And it's just me. I'm not putting it on for anybody else. I'm just chilling, chatting with you, my friends. You're feeling the purples today, Mary Larson. That's right, Melvina. That's right. Oh, all right, guys. I hope that you have an amazing day. Yeah, and thank you for your concern. We're super, super blessed and thankful that Blake got the negative result. And we're just going to kind of wait things out to make sure he stays healthy and safe. And I will talk with you all soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.